Alrighty, continuing on. Mech 101. Here you can see below M1 that I have these other robots, and I purchased them and renamed them for each of my characters because to me that just makes the most sense. And I've color coded them. So here's the one for Lynn. Here's the one for L. And here's the one for Elma. Now you may be wondering why I selected which robots for which person. I just went off of the base stats where you can buy the robots. And I didn't realize in the sea of numbers and words and text that the frames levels, where you see under HP kind of in the center of the screen under the character's leg, that frame level corresponds to the actual level of the character slash who's going to be piloting it or it's going to be assigned to and using it. The default is 20. That means at level 20, if you're strong enough for your abilities or your team are well equipped enough, you can play through the story to, let's see, what is it, chapter 6? Yeah, the story, chapter 6. I recommend that you should be at level 30 to go through that. It is quite tough, but I personally like to play above recommendation, at least 5 levels above recommendation. But some people like to play closer to it, like 1 or 2 levels. This game is kind of like original Pokemon, where just a few levels really makes a huge difference. And I always wondered when I was beginning this game, when are you going to get the robot? It's on the cover of the box. I thought you would just get it in the story right when they discover that the like villain aliens are on the planet. I thought, okay, they'll just give me the robots and be like, okay, we need your team to be stronger. Here's a robot to help you out. Go get them. But no, that's not how it works at all. I would say it would take approximately 55 to 60 hours in game until you get to the point where you can get the robot. It took me a little longer than that because I did so many side missions to begin with. And for most of those side missions, again, not the story or the affinity missions, the side missions, I wished I had a robot. So part of me thinks like, I kind of made a wrong move in that, and I wasted a lot of hours of real life time. But it was really easy now that I'm level 30 that I could buy or use one of these higher end robots already. So anyway, back to these higher end robots. My team members are not level 30, so I spent all this money buying these robots and they cannot use them yet, but they're close, so we'll do that. So my original thought was, when I was buying the robots in the armor alley, was to just take all of the standard equipment off of the robots and then put it on my robot. I thought, instead of waiting for drops or random things from enemies, I'm just gonna find some cool looking robots with some cool looking gear, remove it from them and put it on my robot. Which I may have ended up using only one thing out of that whole process, but I'm now able to mix and match these robots. So how do you go about customizing their gear? Change gear. Okay. Once you buy a robot, or even on your own robot, you're in the change gear screen, you can push X for the sub menu, and I just went down to remove all gear. The reason that it still has a sword and a cannon is I think it just defaults to that because it actually changed from what it actually had when I purchased it. But I would suggest going through and removing all the gear from the robots that you have for your team or for your own robot, and then just taking things one at a time and going through it. So let's see what that looks like. So here's just their basic beginner weapons that will automatically be used. This is on his left side, not my left. Okay, so we have pile bunker. It looks like a rocket launcher, sword, knife, sniper. This is what I really wanted. I really want the sniper on my robot, but my robot's frame is level 20. The sniper needs to be on a level 30 frame robot, and I don't know if I can upgrade my robot's frame level. Hopefully I can, but I don't know. But that's what I really wanted, because that was really cool. And there are these other things, cannons, shotguns, whatever. Let's just go through this. So I want the sniper rifle, and then do I want a melee weapon? Not really, but we'll just see what we get. Maybe the sword. It came with, one of them came with the knife and the sniper combined. Yeah, we'll just go with sword. Okay. So again, we have nothing else equipped to it. No additional armor. So let's look at what the armor looks like. Here you'll not actually see the 3D model's head change, the one that's on the robot. You'll just see the little icon to the right change in the square. I don't think it actually changes the head of the robot, which is weird because it changes your hats and your glasses and your helmets and your whatever on your other character. I'm not sure why it does not do it for this, other than maybe the amount of memory that they're working with in storage. They didn't have enough room for all those 3D models as well, but it's fine. Or the robot designer just said, I want it to look like this, no matter what. So here's some evasion up. You can see what it goes plus and minus. Armor up, melee accuracy up, some more armor up. And this one I cannot use because it's a level 50. Alright, so let's just say, we've got some armor on their head. We're going to do some arts over here. Now, these sections do have exclusive things. The shields can only be used in the shield area, which I haven't purchased any. They don't come on the robot by default. So these are all their art weapons. And they looked really cool. When I first was going through some of the stuff that I just found, I thought, man, that is just so awesome looking. Super, super, super cool. But again, to me, it doesn't really matter right now what we pick. I'm just going to show you what this looks like. You can double up if you want to. But just for the sake of this video, I want to show you just some basic stuff. So we're going to just keep it on the left side for now. Here you see you have 4 different choices for the left shoulder. And here will be the right shoulder. The right shoulder, for some reason, has more choices than the left shoulder. I'm not sure why, but that's just how it is. A cool scythe. How can you have a choice having to choose between a sniper or a scythe? Tough call, tough call. Just have a regular sniper rifle. I personally would pick the sniper rifle, but I think a lot of people want to see the scythe, so we're just going to pick the scythe. Alright, and then we're going to go back over here. Again, you have to learn what this is. Like, what is the P cannon? What is the laser gun? What is the H arrow? What does that mean, really? Well, by pushing R to toggle the display from the numbers to this, the most important thing is the effect range. It says target single enemy. Target enemies ahead. That's kind of like the cannon beam that my character class is using. And then enemy vicinity. And it's very important to keep this in mind, because if you're fighting monsters and you only want to attack one monster at a time, maybe they're really strong or they have a ton of health, they're a special monster, you do not want to attack the other monsters in the vicinity and your characters or team gets overrun. That's just going to be really challenging. Or maybe you do want that to happen, so you would want to choose a lot of vicinity weapons, but that's an important kind of strategy on the battlefield to think about. But I think they're pretty cool. So alright, we're just going to go with these three. Back. Now I want to register them to my character. I don't think that it's going to mess it up. So M1, now I could register this to a different person. It doesn't really matter who. Just pick it on the... Alright, back, back, back. Now you see that Elma, Lynn, and Elle are each in my current party. If I were to go out and run around the world, and you'll probably see this when you first get your robot, because you'll only have one robot, they will just be following behind you, running around, and they'll look like ants if you zoom the camera all the way out on the robot. That doesn't really affect anything other than it looks kind of strange. So you're welcome to keep your team exactly how they are, but just for this video showing the robots, I'm going to go into my party, go down to active members, and going to remove Lynn and Elle, confirm changes, because they do not have any robots registered to them. Alright, and save. Now I'm going to use the gamepad screen to go to the world map, go to Primordia, and there are two different type of like warp locations. Try to do this in a quick setting here. Okay, that's not, hopefully that's not too unfocused. You have things like this monster, and you can fast travel there. One time I fast traveled to a location that was on a narrow bridge, and my robot was nowhere around me. I thought maybe they just didn't have room, but there's always room around the orange beacons. So I would suggest, just from that brief experience, to always use the orange beacons to travel to when you have your robots. So here we are. Where are the robots? They will be behind you without your characters in them. So I'm going to get into the one that's registered to me, hit Y to board. She'll get into hers. Alright, now we are in the robots. I'm going to hold L on the gamepad and use the right thumbstick to zoom out. Here we are. You can walk around with your robot, or you can click in the left thumbstick to turn it into a vehicle. Optimized. And you really travel quickly in this vehicle. So I'll be back with another video to show you the combat aspects of the robots.